back to it.
The most important skill a teacher can develop for leading discussions is learning how to use information students give you to ask questions.
Do you think there are other ways to make friends, though?
Yeah. But not in a bad way. You can do it in a better way.
The best result of having discussions for me has been the trust that I have been able to establish with my students. It's useless to give advice to someone who doesn't trust you or doesn't want to hear it. When my class gets into a discussion, I remind myself that it's my job to make sure everyone has a chance to speak and that everyone is treated fairly.
You doing it was peer pressure is because you didn't have enough respect for yourself and you was too soft.
When I teach, I ask a lot of questions. It takes more energy because to have a really good discussion, I have to pay attention to what students say. It takes energy to be a good listener, but it pays real dividends in terms of how deeply my students think. I try to follow the 80-20 rule when I hold discussions. I listen 80% of the time and ask questions the other 20% of the time.
And then the person hits you back, then it's immediately 10 days.
Ask open-ended questions. Open-ended questions often begin with what, how, and why. Avoid using questions that can be answered with a yes or a no.
And I want you to respond to me or respond to the group as to what you have learned. Van, go ahead.
I learned that you should double think before you...
Open-ended questions ask for an opinion. They ask students to think deeply. Give students enough time to formulate an answer. Don't be uncomfortable if no one is speaking. If it seems that it's taking too long for a student to formulate an opinion, consider asking the question again using different words. Practice asking a question and waiting at least 10 seconds for a response before you speak again.
And you'll be a lot happier.
When I've had a really good discussion with my students, I feel great. It's like I really reached them. To make discussions successful, I keep my eyes open and watch my students' faces. I know who's ready to answer, who's thinking, and who needs to be challenged in order to be brought into the conversation.